All right, let's just jump right in. The title of this book, it makes a pretty bold promise, doesn't it? How to win every argument. Kind of sounds like a manual for verbal combat. But here's the thing, and this is the whole secret. Most of us completely misunderstand what it actually means to win.
You got it. This book argues something that feels a little dangerous, but it's also true. The secret to winning every single argument is to completely change your definition of win. And it all starts by tearing down one single assumption we all make. Since we were kids, we've been programmed to see arguments as battles, right? There's a winner and there's a loser. It's a zero-sum game. The goal is to dominate, prove them wrong, and be the last one standing on the rhetorical mountaintop. And here it is, the core paradox. When you crush someone in an argument, you don't just lose their viewpoint. You could lose the whole relationship, their trust, any chance of a real breakthrough. So in a way, their loss is actually your loss too. So why do we keep falling into this trap over and over again? Well, the book calls this the winning paradox. And we fail because, according to the legendary trial lawyer Gerry Spence, our natural ability to connect and persuade is basically imprisoned.
I love this metaphor. It's so powerful. Our best, most authentic, most persuasive selves are trapped behind these locks that, well, we put there ourselves. We've got all this potential, but we just can't get to it. So the real question is, what are these locks?
Turns out there are three big ones. First, that whole combat mindset we just talked about. Second, that raw, gut-wrenching fear of conflict, of looking stupid, of being vulnerable. And third, this mistaken belief that fancy words and clever tricks are what really persuade people, when it's actually something much, much deeper. And this is where things start to get really good. Because for every single lock, there is a key. The rest of this breakdown is all about finding those keys. So let's start with the master key, the one that unlocks that very first door. So here we are, our first unlock, the new goal. And look, this isn't some new technique or a trick. It's a fundamental, deep-down shift in what you're trying to achieve. If the goal isn't to beat your opponent, what on earth is it? Just look at this contrast. It says it all. The old way is all about combat. It's an assault, designed to make the other person lose. The new goal, it's about connection and finding the truth together. It's not about beating them. It's about discovering something with them. The whole frame shifts from domination to interaction. This quote just nails it. True winning isn't a solitary victory. It's finding a way for everyone to get what they need. It's collaborative. It completely reframes an argument from being an attack into a tool for mutual success. Okay, so you're on board. You've changed your goal. You're all about connection. But then the actual moment arrives. You have to have that tough conversation. And what happens? Your stomach just drops, right? Your palms get sweaty. This brings us to the biggest lock of all and the book's most surprising solution. Now, most of us think the goal is to get rid of fear, to eliminate it. This book says, nope, do the exact opposite. Don't fight your fear. Use it. Turn it into fuel. This is a total game changer. That anxiety, that adrenaline, that nervous energy you feel right before a difficult talk, that is not weakness. That's fuel. That's raw power, just waiting for you to harness it. Feeling fear just means you care, that something important is actually on the line. So next time you feel that fear bubbling up, don't run, just acknowledge it. Let it be there, because by accepting that energy, you are fully present in that moment. And that is when your real, authentic voice can finally come out. Which, by the way, brings us to the key for that third and final lock. Okay, so you've got the right goal. You've turned your fear into fuel. So what's left? This is the part most people completely miss. It's not about what you say. It's about where your words are coming from. So the book defines credibility not as sounding smart or using fancy words, but as just being real. It's that feeling when what you're saying is a perfect one-to-one match for what you genuinely believe deep down. It's the huge difference between seeming credible and actually being credible. And trust me, people can feel that difference instantly. And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? You can have all the facts, all the logic in the world, but if your argument doesn't carry the weight of your genuine belief, if it doesn't come from your very core, it just lands with a thud. People aren't persuaded by intellect alone. They are moved by the undeniable energy of truth. Okay, so let's wrap all this up. We've redefined what it means to win, we've learned how to turn fear into fuel, and we've anchored our power in pure authenticity.
What does this mean for you, tomorrow in your next disagreement at work or at home?
If you take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Stop seeing arguments as attacks you need to launch. Start seeing them as invitations, as opportunities to understand, to be understood, and to build something totally new with another person.
The choice really is yours. The old way? It leads to these temporary victories, but usually long-term losses. But the new way, this path of connection and courage and credibility, that can lead to outcomes you never even thought were possible. So the only question left is, which one will you choose?